So here we are continuing with the overarching theme, pure joy. So you're now entering into your emotionally fit room. So what I want us to be looking at is unprocessed emotional well-being. So I want you to think about that. Workplaces that prioritize performance while ignore emotional reality create emotional backlog. So what does that mean? Research tells us that organizations that don't allow for expression, that don't allow for people to share, hey, I'm overloaded, excuse me, that don't allow for, hey, I was triggered during that meeting, or I don't feel safe, or those kinds of things. What tends to happen is that it shows up in such a way that it surfaces and bubbles up it shows up in conflict, absenteeism, illness, and even mental illness. So I want you to be thinking about, in order to experience that pure joy as a leader, as a team, part of that is we need to be checking in with ourselves in our emotionally fit room. Hey, although she said she's fine, her face is saying something different. I think I shared this before. A kindergarten teacher was trying to teach her students about the different range of emotions and had the chart up and was experiencing and trying to explain what each of the emotions were. And one of her little students said, Mrs. Jones, what are you experiencing now? And she said, well, I'm experiencing, joy. And he said, well, maybe you should tell your face that. I mean, out of the mouths of babes, right? So what I want you to be paying attention to is it in alignment? When someone says they're fine, are they really fine? Or are they actually just saying they're fine and they're now suppressing those very emotions that they need to feel safe enough to express? So I realize that, some people need to have that time aside to have that check-in with you, not in front of everybody. I think that's important. I think also we need to do a pulse check as a collective team as well. How are people feeling right now? And, getting that sense of where we're at. Because you see, this is one of the ways that joy gets blocked in organizations and in teams, is when we have this unprocessed emotions that nobody's taking the time to check in. Hey, we've just had 18 different changes. We've had one change. It doesn't matter the number of changes, but are we talking about what's it bringing up in us? Is there a trigger? Is there a domino effect here? And know that when people share from their hearts, that they're not being judged for, oh, come on, get over it. It's already been 2 months, it's already been 6 months. The reality is it takes people whatever time it takes them to be able to work through. And I think when people feel judged, that certainly blocks their sense of joy and that sense of connection to their leader, to their organization. So I'm inviting you right now, a strategy I think would be really helpful is doing that emotional check-in at your next team meeting, doing that emotional check-in with yourself each morning. How am I feeling right now? What am I feeling? Really, what am I feeling? And I think you'll find the answers will be in that silence. Remember, you are a powerhouse.